So hello and welcome to today's video, where today I'm going to show you everything about Bully's biggest removed features surrounding the vehicles. Well, specifically the bikes of Bully. Now one thing people noticed about Bully was how lacking all of the vehicles were. They had no customization, no upgrades outside of shop class, and speaking of that, pretty much all the bikes from shop class were unobtainable once you got the next upgrade by beating the next class. Now, upgrading your vehicle has become a prominent feature in Rockstar's games, appearing first in GTA San Andreas, returning in GTA 5, and was surprisingly worked really well into Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can customise your horse however you wanted. Now, as said, you cannot customise your bike at all in Bully. You either buy one or you steal one, that's it. You can guess where this is going, but Rockstar intended for us to be able to upgrade our BMXs during development, and there's a lot of this left over. Now first of all, we have two screenshots from David Byron's website which shows what the customisation looked like. Now before we go over this, the area where the screenshots were taken actually still exists in the final game. So where is it? Well, it's actually at the back of Shiny Bike's store, but everything here is low quality and lacks collision. It's not just a backdrop to make the shop look more authentic, this was where our bikes would be upgraded. Now if we look here, there's a 2D cutout of a bike that looks nothing like any bike seen in the final game. It's possible that this might have been a beta bike that we could have bought, because it seems a bit too out of place. Now I'm not sure if this would be like GTA where you would ride your bike into the garage on the outside of the store and you can mod up your bike there, or if you would enter the store and you'd have an option to buy a new bike or mod up your current one. Now looking at the screenshots, admittedly it looks very basic. Now this is actually because this is from an incredibly early version of the game. Not sure when, but we can tell that this is from an early version because it looks nothing like the old version, if that makes any sense. I'd estimate this to be around probably early 2005 I'd say. But that's probably why the fonts look like they're from MS Paint. Because from my knowledge of game development, which is very little, apparently fonts are always left till last because they're not really essential to testing gameplay features that much. Now much like Grand Theft Auto's customization, we could seamlessly upgrade each area of our bike, from the tyres to the frames and near enough everything in between. Now comparing the photos, we can tell they are the same bike, just different colours, so while we don't have any screenshots of a paint menu, it pretty much implies we did have the option to recolour our bikes too. So what other leftovers exist? Well, if we're talking bikes, we do have that weird bike from Shiny Bikes, which looks nothing like any bike seen in the game. And there's seemingly an unused bike in Fighting Johnny Vincent, where at least on the PC version of the game, after chasing Johnny and everyone in the police, we can see Johnny Vincent is using a completely different, unused bike that isn't seen anywhere in game. Only in the cutscene though, because once the fight begins, Johnny's bike reverts back to a default one. Now this was actually fixed in the anniversary edition of Bully, so that just adds more proof it was a beta bike. Now going back to the upgrades, we do actually have the following text strings which are quite interesting. Bike garages can only store one customisable bike. Ride your bike in the garage to store it. Bike stored successfully, you must now save your game at a save point to save the bike. Now these three text strings imply the bike was going to be very similar to the GTA series, where if we get busted, lose our bikes or fall in water or whatever, that's it, it's gone, game over. It also implies that we could drive bikes into garages rather than, well, just be stuck with buying them or unlocking them through shop class. Now the fact it only specifies one customisable bike might mean we only had the option of one bike per garage, or something like, I don't know, maybe one custom bike and one unlockable bike. There's nothing here that mentions a moped either, which is really odd. Now we do have quite a bit of text left over from the upgrading system, which reads, Action customised bike, press up or down to change the colour, this is the first set of tyres, this is the second set of tyres. First set of cranks, second set of cranks, first frame, second frame, simple forks, regular forks, ultra wheels, standard wheels, the SS frame, and the EL frame. Now, I actually did check through the text files for any colours, and weirdly enough we only have one colour left over and that's blue. Despite the fact we know other colours do exist because of the screenshots I showed earlier, and the fact there's another text string which I just said, which was press up or down to change the colour. So you know how in Grand Theft Auto 4 you can collect vehicles for Brucey? Well, it turns out Bully might have had a similar feature to this too, where initially Jimmy would steal bikes for Otto the Townie and return them to him for payment, with the following text strings left over. Now before I cover this, there's no scripts left over, so this could have either been something that we got in GTA 4, or it's just a simple errand from Otto that was cut. But either way, these text strings do exist. bring the bike to auto, you failed to get the bike back to auto, bring bikes to auto for cash, the bike was worth $sign and some amount. Now as said though, it's possible that this could have been a deleted errand, or it could have been related to the mission The Collector, which is basically the same version but for Clint or Henry or whatever you want to call him instead. But now we move on to something much more interesting. Now if you're a fan of the Tony Hawk or the Matt Hoffman games on the PS1 or the PS2, you'll probably be gutted this was cut, because originally Rockstar were planning on letting us perform tricks on our bikes. Now BMX tricks in Bully are lacking, and that's putting it politely. I mean, all we do in the final game is backflip, pop a wheelie, and yeah, that's actually about it. Hardly Tony Hawk. In this case it's probably Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, but you get the idea. We've got a very limited amount of tricks. But unsurprisingly, Rockstar planned for Bully to have actual full-on BMX tricks that Jimmy could do. Mid-air and ground tricks, something akin to Matt Hoffman or at the very least Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I don't know because I've only played American Wasteland and not Matt Hoffman. For BMX games that is. Now legendary Bully modder Deadpool XYZ somehow got the only tricks that remained working, and I have to say it's almost like how the BMX in Tony Hawk's American Wasteland work. Now I know they're not related because, you know, different developers and all, but I'm going by the name tricks in American Wasteland for this part. Now Jimmy could do tail whips, both front and back. Jimmy could do a stoppie instead of just the normal back wheel wheelie. Jimmy could also bounce on the front wheels and do X-ups by spinning the handlebars. Now as far as I'm aware, there are no leftover files for grinding. They could have been cut, or maybe it wasn't planned, but just putting that out there. And honestly, this is a really amazing feature that makes no sense as to why Rockstar cut it. The animations Deadpool found seem mostly solid and don't seem buggy, but then again he did get them working, so there might have been a few missing or some that did crash the game. I'm also unsure if Deadpool managed to map these tricks to their original controls or not, as I'd imagine performing the BMX tricks probably would be similar to the control schemes used in the Matt Hoffman or Tony Hawk games. Now this is related but at the same time isn't, so allow me to explain. A while back, some of you may remember I did a video where I found the only remains of a deleted swim race minigame, which crashed 5 or so seconds after loading. And after that video went up, I asked Deadpool if there was any chance of getting it working, and he took a look at the script and told me that the script was an incredibly old script, to the point it referenced NPCs being able to perform tricks themselves. That's right, Rockstar were planning for the NPCs to perform their own tricks, most likely going to be used in the BMX park, as when we do enter the park we do see greasers riding around. But that's it, they don't do anything else. It does make sense for them to be there, but I guess popping a few tricks would give more immersion to the whole BMX park theme, but they don't. Now this might also hint at Jimmy being able to perform skateboard tricks, but nothing has been found to back that up yet, so please do not assume there are skateboard tricks yet, because if there are, they haven't been found. Now to brag script for a second, all of this cut detail just shows what Rockstar Vancouver were going for. They really wanted to make the game as immersive as they possibly could. I mean, we didn't see this kind of detail until GTA 4 on the 360 and PS3, but I guess the limits of the PS2 did stop that. You still gotta hand some respect to the team who worked really hard on Bully trying to go that extra mile in like 2004 or whatever. It makes me think what they could have done had Bully first come out on the PS3 or 360 instead of the PS2. Anyway, back to the main script. Just for one last part though, and then that's it. Now speaking of the BMX park, we do have a bit more to cover, because the one we see in New Coventry was a rushed last minute job. If we use a mod to open interiors and we head to Blue Skies Industrial Park, we can enter this building, which, if we enable no clip, is our removed beta BMX park. But if we turn around, we can still see the final games park there. Now this removed park must have been a late removal because there's an early version of bait which can be played, which spawns us over this deleted BMX park. Well, after we lure Gord here that is. And then it crashes straight after. Now sadly there's nothing really left to talk about as this was replaced entirely, but it might hint at either multiple BMX parks, with one being in Blue Skies and the other being in New Coventry, or it might imply that the original bike park was in Blue Skies and not New Coventry. Or it could have just been like some shared interior kind of thing, like they did in the GTA series. But either way, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Bully based content than that. Be sure to hit that bell so you get notified of every new upload. Well, if YouTube isn't being a prick about it. And if you want to support me in a more personal way, consider donating to me on Patreon or becoming a member of my channel. So thank you for watching and have a great day.